There's a lot of conversation around awakening right now, and what we're really experiencing is not the awakening that most people think. It's remembering. And let me tell you something, remembering is not learning something new, certainly not gaining information, and it's for sure not becoming someone else. It's not. Most people think that, but that's not the case here. Remembering is the return to what was always known. Before conditioning shaped us, before fear was taught, and before identity was imposed. And this is why awakening feels so familiar. It feels familiar because it's not discovery, it's recognition. Learning adds, remembering removes. Learning says, here is something you didn't have. And remembering says, let's uncover what was always there. And this is why awakening doesn't always feel exciting. Let me tell you, it doesn't always feel exciting. Sometimes it feels quiet. Sometimes it feels heavy. And most certainly, sometimes it feels like grief. And that's because awakening isn't becoming more. It's shedding what was never us. It's letting go what was never us. And once this process begins, it doesn't just stop in the mind. It literally moves through the body, into relationships, into the life we built while we were disconnected from ourselves. And at the very core, remembering is realizing that we are not the roles we were assigned. We are not just a body. We are not just a name. We are not just a history. And let me tell you what we certainly are not. We are not just a personality built for survival. We are consciousness, experience, and form. Awareness, having a human being experience. And when this remembering lands internally, I'm not talking about just intellectually. When it lands internally, guess what begins to dissolve? Fear begins to loosen. And that's because fear needs the belief that we are separate. Fear needs the belief that we are fragile. And fear needs the belief that we are limited. But let me tell you something. Remembering dissolves those beliefs quietly but completely. For me, remembering didn't happen all at once. It happened slowly and honestly, painfully. I stayed in a relationship long after my spirit was speaking. And it's not because I couldn't hear it, because I heard it, but because I had learned to override what I was feeling. I had learned to override what I was hearing. And honestly, I valued commitment over alignment, stability over truth. Stability over truth, honestly. I had learned these conditionings. And not only that, but I have valued potential over reality. I did. It's just that plain and simple. I valued commitment over alignment, stability over truth, and potential over reality. And for a long time, I thought that was love. I did. But what took place is that I couldn't ignore the fact that I was remembering who we are. I was remembering what I am. And in that process of remembering, it was hard. It was hard for me to stay asleep in my own life. So what finally broke wasn't the relationship. It was the illusion that abandoning myself was noble. That's remembering. It's not learning something new. It's remembering what I already knew. Remembering also awakens what we possess. Not power as control, but as a creative force. We remember that thoughts carries energy. It carries energy. We remember that belief shapes perception. We remember that attention directs experience. We also remember that feelings, emotions program the body, not as fantasy, but as law. We realize that we've been creating all along, unconsciously. So awakening doesn't give us power. It makes our power intentional. And with that comes responsibility. Responsibility increases because now you can't unknow what you know. It's impossible to unknow what you remember. And another thing remembering does, it dissolves separation. What we call God, source, spirit, or the universe, it's not outside of us. We realize and we remember that it's within us. We are one. And we are experiencing through it. We are experiencing through it. And that's why alignment feels different than effort. Effort is separation. Alignment is remembering. Life doesn't get easier, it gets clearer. Before fear was taught, before survival was the priority, and before identity was imposed, there was knowing. But conditioning taught us who to be, what we want, what to fear, and what was possible. Remembering is the undoing of that program. I'm going to say that again. Remembering is the undoing of that program. And this is why awakening dismantles the life we built while asleep. It's not as punishment, but to free us. Many of us sense this deeply. I know I do. I sense this, I feel it, I know it. We chose our parents, our environments, our challenges, our lessons, not as punishment. But this was not random. It's our life's blueprint, chosen, not imposed. And this is why awakening feels like recognition. Because something in us remembers the assignment. And remembering isn't loud. It's not loud. It looks like no longer betraying yourself to belong. It looks like trusting that inner truth, even when it costs comfort. It looks like choosing alignment over approval. It looks like trusting that inner knowing over external authority. It looks quiet. It looks grounded. And it also looks misunderstood. Remembering is not escaping. It's embodiment. We didn't wake up to the world to leave it. We woke up to the world to move through it consciously. We woke up to the world to move through it consciously. And when truth is remembered, it's meant to be lived now. It's not something you can unknow. And it is so.